Hello. Um, I will make a little introduction. As we all know, we have been under a pandemic for over a year now, since March 2020, and here we are in May 2021. It has not been the best thing in the world. It has taken a toll in all of us, in our time, in our mental health, in our state of mind. It has worsened. That's why we're doing this presentation right now. A presentation about mental health awareness and strategies, because we have to make us more aware about our mental health. That it isn't like a grant that we will be happy all day. No. Especially being trapped here in our rooms, it's not the ideal condition. And for making us feel better, for solving a little situation, we have some strategies to show, and I hope you will follow. Here we look at a guy that's alone, yes, like us, and another that has a woman in their mind. This guy is in the left. It's a guy it's alone in his mind, going through a rainbow. It's his imagination going on, while the rest of the world is back. But he goes on, and this is a woman that wants to liberate that aspect. It's her mind freeing itself. It has a glimpse of hope, a window like we have in our rooms probably. It wants to get free, but it's difficult, of course. Our mind wants to be free. Well, my name is Yorgos Kori Galanax Ivanoli, class from 12th grade C. The teacher's name is Nicolas Lautaro Olivares Corco, and I did this presentation on May 3rd, 2021, Monday. A pretty sad picture, yes, melancholy even. And the thing is, it has recently how has quarantine affected people's mental health. You can suppose that not very fine. Oh, so delayed, and anxious even. And I don't know if you're seeing the baby, but it's also like feeling bad. The answer to this question, the previous question was, it has affected it negatively in its majority. Yet it hasn't been great for everyone. For no one it has been a better outcome, I think. One of the principal reasons why is that it has both psychological disorders, such as anxiety disorders. As in the illustration, the woman feels anxious, like even the background shows that she's feeling like spines are going all through her back, while he has to take care of a baby, and the fear doesn't look so fruitful. She doesn't know what will happen. We don't do it. It's an anxious situation to feel in. Bipolarity, because we all can think of. We have suddenly change of emotion in this pandemic. We can feel happy in one moment and then sad another day, to then feel enraged and then feel nothing at all. Anorexia and obesity also, because one could eat too much while being pandemic to feel something, or too little because you don't want to get fat, but you feel bad even for that. Depression, because you have to take this action into consciousness, and considering it in all its aspects makes us feel sad, like, oh, we can't recover from this. It's a depressing state to be in, but we have to go with it. And of course, claustrophobia, due to being confined indefinitely. Look at this guy. He lives in a cage in Hong Kong. He's a man from Hong Kong. That's all his house. The lower top, the other one is above. It's another house for another person. Okay, sorry, the limit of screencastify isn't the best thing in the world, and this will happen more when we go on. It just has a limit of 5 minutes. Okay, I was talking about claustrophobia, Due to being confined, here we see a man that feels trapped. Imagine being him, trapped in this pandemic with other more people, because he lives with more people. We see at least 3 more creatures that have probably people like him that doesn't have another option in a place so crowded like it's Hong Kong. No, it's awful. We can feel like him also. And this is a sad room, like the one we are here right now. We have made us feel and this pandemic has made us feel negative. I say, because are there good or negative emotions? I don't know, but when one feels them, the one I will show, one doesn't feel in its finest. And now with being there more common, it's difficult to be happier. The most common, I say, loneliness. We feel all alone. I'm alone right now in my house. I do like being lonely, but the one thing is physically being alone with no people around, and other is being socially alone, that you don't have people that you care around you. Just you have people that you care, they are not around you. You're alone practically. Even if you have a companion, you don't have that feeling of being there with someone. Also rage, we feel rage, we feel all this and all this thing that, like, why can't they don't go out and infect other people? Why can't they be so they are so dumb? When accumulates all these things, all this one mind that go away, and you feel enraged about them, about you have to understand that people may feel enraged by all this situation. This is not a logical situation. It makes us furious, yes, and sometimes also fear that you can't go out, and if you do, you have to pay the consequences of having a 1%, 0.1% exposure to a deadly virus. And even if there are so little possibilities of being infected or dying if one takes the measures, even then you have the fear of other being infected, your familiarities being with the virus. How are they doing? Or if they are gonna die in the worst situation scenario. It's not a, a moment when you can feel relaxed. You are in constant fear. Also sadness. All of this may lead to us being with no purpose. We lose all the happiness, all the things that make us excited, and we go into a sadness. Oh, it doesn't matter what we do. The pandemic will go over, and the future is not bright. Also melancholy. We have in the memories of having 2018, 2019, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we were free in a way, because we could go to many more places and make much more things that we can do now, at least easier. Thinking those time can make us feel a little less happier in a way, because we don't focus in the now, that we can do other things now. Yes, that we can do other things that we could then, but it doesn't mean that it's not an a black wall of darkness that we are in front right now. And we are talking about annoyance. Yes, we can feel pretty annoyed now in a pandemic. We lose our patience sometimes, and it's understandable. We have to deal with so many things, with putting the mask, with going out and not getting close to some other people, with disinfecting our hands. It's a tiresome situation, and then we arrive home. We had a little right to feel annoyed by something that other people may cause. like responding not so energyful to when you ask something, and that has a toll in you, that like you could think they don't care about what you say, but probably they are also tired, they are also in an easier way to get annoyed. Also, I don't know if it is possible to look it here, but here says, and there you can see the S, the green S. It says hopeless, hopelessness, or hopelessness. Yes, you can feel less hopeful for the situation right now. Like that man in the risk, he knows that he's in a complicated situation. Is it all lost? Perhaps not. Look, because in every moment you have a way out, you have a possibility to fix it. There are so few ways to not solve something. There are much more ways to do it in the right manner. If we are in the same situation, this pandemic has made us deal with the solution that we had before. They are not useful anymore. We have to make some nows, and if we don't have the new ones in the moment, we say, it's not possible to do it. We lose the hope that keeps us forward. But we don't have to lose it. We don't have to lose the emotion of, yes, if we have a solution, we just have to look harder for it. Okay, and all of this has made some people develop unhealthy coping mechanisms, because we have to deal with problems in some manner, even if isn't so helpful. Actually, this coping mechanism may just worsen the problem. At least they make them more bearable. If they make them worse later, but in the moment one can look only for feeling a little more happier, like what happened when one takes addictive drugs. Like this guy, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a guy losing his mind. All the notion of time and space just advancing in time, and while he's taking a cigarette. It isn't the ideal, but at least you don't feel that bad in the moment, and that's very important. And also chewing fingernails, when all this anxiety makes us feel so we're trapped here, we can liberate it to somewhere else, and we make it so some ticks begin to take place. Like chewing fingernails, it's not a pretty pretty thing to do, but it's a manner to cope with this. Also, ventilating aggressively, and that shouting to his daughter, because probably one feels bad. We have all these negative emotions in our psyche, but we liberate them onto someone else. They don't have they are not culprits of if we feel bad, and that doesn't even justify we treating them badly, but at least it's understandable in a perspective that we treat some people bad. We rotate aggressively when we also feel bad. We trespass our negative emotions to them. Also, eating too much or too little, as we said, because we have our eating disorders. We may not like a food right now, and it's fine, okay, but it may lead to some problems, even if it's a thing we do to not feel bad. And it can cause problems to eat too much or too little food, because we leave it to it. We do it with the sense of not feeling bad if we do it or don't do it. And also, this is a one I feel to relate. It's sleeping the most possible, that in consequence cause living responsibilities on indefinite stop. We can see this child, this guy, it has papers all over his room, unfinished projects that he wants to do, but he doesn't have the motivation to do it. It's not a healthy coping mechanism, but at least he doesn't feel bad. He doesn't feel personally pressured to do it, and this is totally understandable. We don't have the motivation to do things right now. And the worst thing one could do is propagate this problem, make it the pressure more persistent, in a person. The pressure of I have to do something, It doesn't helps, but it's also you don't have to be like him all day, all the morning, all the year. It's not helpful for no one. But don't make the pressure. And all this situation looks so bad, so tiresome. How do we fix it? It doesn't have any solution. How? But how to improve it? But we have the strategies. They don't solve them. Of course, yes, they help so much, but they are not the key to the core problem. They are a preventive solution that, if followed, they will must help you in a way. Of course, I guarantee it. They don't fix the core problem, but at least they make it more bearable, or even disappear in some cases in specific problems. The guarantee takes so much time more to fix. And here we go with strategy 1: getting the vaccine. Why? Because if you feel the fear of going out and getting infected and infect others, and even you feeling bad, getting the shot will make you feel so much comfortable about being more safe and not spreading this deadly virus. Or you will have also more privilege in a way. You will feel better because you will be a little more immune to the thing that is causing all this pain. And if you haven't been vaccinated, do it. If you already have, well, then you have one strategy done. It's pretty good. Here we go with the next strategy 2. And to not feel bad, one of the reasons to feel better is resting well, of course. That's why we have to sleep 8 hours to recharge our batteries in a way of all this tiresome situation. If we sleep less than 8 or more than 8 hours in average, we will feel pretty tired, and that doesn't help for our mental health, of course. In relation to the previous one, of course, goes strategy 3: create an engaging and variable routine. Because if we repeat all the routine all the same day, if we make the same move over and over and over and over, it won't do anything. It hasn't fixed the whole Rubik cube. But if we try with different ways to solve problems and engage and creating a routine that doesn't make us feel bad for feeling that we can't advance while doing something, we at least have a fun activities to do. It will cut in a moment. We have more activities to do in a day that make us feel a little better. We don't repeat the same routine. It isn't repetitive. And here we go with strategy 4. Strategy 4: learning to cook plus health. Learning to cook more healthier, because we have a little more free time right now, and the thing is, we have to cook. We can go to another place and be cooked. We can try to cook and use some ingredients, some specific ingredients that make us feel better, because based on what we eat, we feel in a way. If we eat too many fried things, with too many things with sugar, too many things with oil, with olives, with oil, that like the burgers, the French fries, the junk food in a sense, it's demonstrated that it will cause depression, sadness, and negative emotions, while eating healthy food like tomatoes, lettuce, uh, grapes, um, food that contains high nutrient high nutrient proportions make us feel so much better because we are consuming the things that serve to elaborate the to synthesize the hormones of happiness like dopamine or oxytocin. And it's a complicated explanation, but cooking with healthy materials that have high nutrients make us feel better in a direct way. So learn to cook. It's nice to learn to cook and do it with healthy things. Okay. Also, related to strategy 4, strategy 5. Do exercise indoors preferably. Do not be exposed or with all the preventive actions. Do not get infected. Why? Because doing exercise liberates hormones of happiness, endorphins, and this even lasts when you are not doing exercise. So the thing is, do exercise to feel happy and also to feel happy mentally and also feel happy physically, as you will feel renovated when after doing exercise for a prolonged time. You will be in fit in optimum conditions. Now with this my favorite strategy. Strategy 6. Engage into shared activities together with your significant others, with your friends. Wait, look at the picture. You are in a world of Minecraft. This is a virtual world. One could say how it's interesting to live in a fake world, a fake scenario, but you are here with your friends. They give purpose to do things because you care about what other people care. You're in a world with them and you have to survive, and then you can do anything that your imagination and the game allows, and you do it with friends. If you do it alone, you won't feel the great and the pleasure to be with someone else and sharing it. You know, in some regards, our technology has allowed to be in contact with someone else in the other place of the world, or even if it is in the same street, but you can't go physically. It doesn't matter, you can get close virtually. And I consider that a very great advantage we have in this pandemic. And we have to make use of it. Now we go with strategy 7. If you feel trapped, we all feel trapped in these rooms. Reading is an awesome strategy because if we are trapped here in a real world that is confined, we can go to explore other worlds through reading, because every book you open is a new world to explore through the letters. And if you put some time in it, you will even get the sense of, oh, I have to keep reading, and you won't take any time longer when the pandemic ends, and you will have ended the pandemic visiting so many worlds without leaving your room. It's amazing. And here we go with the most important strategy. The strategy 8, the last. Learning is always a rewarding activity, and I will repeat it. Learning is always rewarding. It's always you will always get something from learning, and learning important things. Learning about a celebrity won't take you any further from your capacities, because learning is the basis of how free you are. Being dropped, you lack freedom, and you can obtain more freedom by learning. Learning is so important because the more you learn, the more capacities you have. The more capacities you have, the more you are free, as you can break the molds, and you can also make use of your time, because being here drunk, one could feel like he's wasting the time of his life. I'm wasting, in a sense, my teenage years, and those are supposed to be fun, and I'm not having so much fun right now. At least I'm learning a little, I hope, and you should also, because in the future you will take what you learn during the pandemic, this free time a little, you will take it further if you transcend it and learning. I repeat it so much that it has lost sense, but it will help you in the future when the most important thing you could do is not what you are able to do physically, but what you are able to propose, to innovate, to do all these things the future one has in the intuition. And here we go with the closing part of this presentation, taking like evaluating where I proposing this and where are we doing this presentation. Why is it important to take in touch on these strategies? I've already gone into explaining specific ones of this, but here we go with a general concept of why doing this, why taking care of mental health. It is important because making efforts for improving self-care of mental health is a basic necessity. Mental health is at par with physical health, and if these two don't go aligned with our being, if we only have physical health, we won't have an optimal life. We will feel sad even if we can move, if we can do anything. Physically, we may not have even a purpose and motivation to go forward. And of course, the secondary of a well-being is one of the most fragile things. It's so fragile that just don't being able to leave a room, it's one of the things that breaks it. And it has been broken by this pandemic so much. We had to take it into consideration that this pandemic has consequences in the state of our mental health. And if this mental health isn't taken seriously, we may be crippled for life with psychological disorders, worse, like those people that having gone to war and they come back with psychological injuries, like things that they can make use of for a normal life, as they will hear the and I don't know, a truck going off the road, and I will sound like something that has curved at the sound of a bullet, and it has long persisting consequence. This traumatic experience, like quarantine, being trapped here or so long, we have to take them seriously for the consequences to not be so permanent. And of course, everyone wants to have a better life, and following these strategies will for the least help a little bit. We want to feel happy, and to feel happy we have to have a good physical health, a good social life, and many other aspects, and one of them is mental health. If we, in short, if we want to be happy, we have to get a good mental health. And it may be it. It just got just in the end when I was finishing this. That's why it sounds so taken forward. And okay, let's gonna end this presentation. Hope you liked this PowerPoint and video presentation. It was very fun to do, especially that it will help making some lives better. That's the purpose there. It's important that this is not taken like just a project, a thing to get a grade, but all of us taking these things into motion, that they won't solve the core problems of the pandemic, but at least they will make us feel a little bit better. And these things this thing made me happier for adding them here. It's fun to join with all this presentation. It has helped with my mental health doing this presentation a little, because I can express how I think, how weird are these. I like them. I like them pretty much. Yes. Well, thanks to all who put attention in this roughly like 30 minutes, I think. And that's all. See you, folks. Take care.